Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Mobile App Coaching. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to have you here. Glad to be here. If you can hear me loud and clear, by all means, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Looks like the alert just hit. Market moving down. The best plays right now. Jazz says, call me crazy. I jumped back into Palantir. I got out of Palantir with 128% gain. I'm thinking about it. And for those of you I saw in chat on YouTube, people were saying, well, Glenn is going back up. Or Glenn, I thought it was a long-term play. It is a long-term play, something that I want to still keep my eyes on. I don't know if I'm ready to jump back into it right now, but keep in mind, when I do jump back into Palantir, I'm playing with the house's money. Think about that. For those of you who think that I got out way too early, I'll take 120% gain right now. So I'm all with that. All right. Why is the price not red? The price of what? The VVC is red. All of the major indices, as you're looking at the mobile app right now, again, I'm not looking at the software. I'm not looking at the desktop version. I'm looking strictly on my iPad, excuse me, at the mobile app. There was news on Palantir listing on NASDAQ. Yes, I know they're moving to the NASDAQ 100, which could be a huge move for Palantir. It's all momentum, Glenn. Palantir is still a good stock, just overvalued at this point in time. And remember, as I've said on more than one occasion, that there's a lot of stocks in the market that are overvalued. Glenn closed out of his Palantir deal was a great buy indicator. Really, Tabula? That's all right. I'm not mad at closing out of it. So Melinda says there are ladies here as well. Did I say anything bad about the ladies? I hope I didn't. I don't think I did. All right. So Furby said I bought more shares of Palantir. Glenn, are you still holding NVDL and DFEN? DFEN, I'm out. NVDL, I'm in. Right now, NVDL has got me down almost 7.5% today. I'm still up on it. I think the NVDL on NVIDIA, I'm holding through earnings. NVIDIA, I am holding through earnings. So the three stocks that I have are SoFi, I'm up about 26%. iBit, I'm up about 20%. And NVDL, I'm only up about 0.6%. All right. Jim says, my price is showing yellow on my app in the color guard. Yellow in the app. I have it as yellow as well. Let's go see. Is it down? Oh, good question. Why are we not getting a red light on the color guard price column? That's a good question. There we go, Chris. Chris said it. We cannot go on a week-over-week basis from green to red. That's why. We cannot go from green to red on the price column. So technically, if we were working off of a yellow on the color guard from a week ago, we would be red today. Yes, let's go over the recent surge in defense stocks. I am a big proponent of defense stocks. I think that DFEN is going to still have a lot of upside. When I say a lot, I say a lot. Now, let me talk to you about how I invest in the stock market. The way that I invest in the stock market, I take my profits when the profits are there. And then on a stock that's starting to lose me money or bite into my profits, I will close that position, or I will sell a covered call or buy a protective put. Whichever, I could be defensive or just close out of the position. So with that being said, I see that the market is going down. I did the 6 p.m. video tonight already. And the title of the 6 p.m. video tonight is this a market correction or a market pullback? Let me ask you what you think. Hi, what happened to the Santa rally? Alfreda, I still think the Santa rally is still in play. All right, we're just in November, the middle of November. I still think that the Santa rally is still in play. What do you think is going on in the market right now? Do you think that we're going through a correction or are we going through a pullback? If you want to know what my thinking about it is, I watched the 6 p.m. video tonight. And the title of it is this a market correction or a market pullback? All right. And I will give you my insights on what I think is going on. Number one, Bobby says both. Well, it can only be really one of the other, because if it's a correction, that already takes out the pullback. All right. And Bobby says a mix of both. I don't think you can have a mix of both. I think that it's either going to be a correction where we're going to correct, 10% or more as a correction. A pullback is less than that. Irrational exuberance leads to eventual profit taking. Is that a bad thing? All right, so let me ask you another question. Is profit taking a bad thing? So I hear what Tabula is saying, profit taking, so people are just taking profits, but stocks are going to go back up. I'm curious, is profit taking a good thing or a bad thing? All right, and I asked that question on an honest platform, in that profit taking profits, you get out, what are you supposed to do when it comes down to making money? What are you supposed to do? Buy low and do what high? Buy low and do what high? Sell high. Now, is Palantir high? Well, how do you know how high it is when it stops going up and starts going back down? That's what the market's doing. The market stopped going up and started coming down. Thus the reason why you have the munchies. Jazz, what you doing? Why you got the munchies? That's what I did on a couple of my plays. The market stopped going higher, so you're supposed to buy low and sell high. And I did that on a couple of my positions. Glenn, what is your trigger to take profits? Jim, when I have a stock that's up 20, 30%, two things I'm looking for. I'm looking for either a 10% pullback, all right, so a trailing 10, or the other scenario I'm looking at is never losing more than half of what I've made. All right, never lose more than half of what I made. So if a stock goes up 15%, 10%, then I'm going to, if it goes up 10%, I'm not going to lose more than 5%. So those are my triggers. Selling is part of how the market works. Marty is right. Number two, selling is part of how you make sure you're in a portfolio that's profitable. Think about that, folks. So for those of y'all who might have thought that I sold Palantir too high or too early, I can jump back in. But I'd rather take the 120% off the table. Marty and who else? Two people just said you can't go broke taking a profit. All right. So, Glenn, are you trading in a tax deferred account? I'm trading in my 401k, but I track altogether about 5 different portfolios, and they are in tax deferred. My other 4 are tax deferred. My stocks as a whole are down 1%, but hedging with call spreads cut that way down. Way to go. So, right now, what's up, Tilu? Right now I'm of the mindset of if you don't want to sell, take protective measures. Take protective measures. Michael is right. Don't fight the trend. And what do I see? I'm looking at on the market timing calls. For those of you who are more aggressive, the only thing that's down is the primary wave. The DEW and confirmed calls are still up in play. All right. But when I look at a stock like Palantir, which is very news driven, even though it's in a hot space, I'm going to take that volatility out of it. All right. During Greenspan's irrational exuberance, the market was nowhere near the overvaluation that it is now. Well, you know why there's more overvaluation is there's more money in the market. Compared to where Greenspan's days. There's a lot more money in the market. It's never bad to take profits. You just miss an opportunity. I'm not thinking I'm missing an opportunity. I can add to that 120% gain by getting back in. But I think a lot of you are missing that. As I get back in to Palantir, I am not using my money. I'm using the house's money. That's the way I look at it. I'm using the house's money when I get back into it. Palantir has made me a good little piece of profit. And now I'm using the market. I'm using the gains from that to reinvest into that stock. So I don't think I'm missing an opportunity, Ramor. All right, with that all being said, I love the conversation. I love the conversation. Don't sell 3 stocks as Palantir, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Buy more at lower prices. I am still holding my NVDL. I didn't take part in the Tesla trade just quite yet. And, of course, you know what happened to Palantir. iBit is still good. And as I mentioned, I'm up about 20.5% on iBit. 20.5%. Glenn, we'll get back into Palantir when the market starts going back up. I'm going to keep my eye on Palantir. When it gives me another buying opportunity, I'll take it. It is a bad thing when it comes big in one day. I'm not sure what you're saying, Niles. Glenn, is general trend in the market still up after the BS from Powell? Ooh, how many of you, now, talking about Powell, all right? Powell came out and said, oh, you know, I'm not in a rush to continue lowering interest rates. Interesting. What has your Uncle Glenn been saying for the longest time? Anyway. So I'm looking at the odds. The odds for a December rate cut dropped from 80% to 60%. Still above 50%. But the odds of a December cut have now fallen. And he stated, there you go, Lee. Lee says it's 50-50 now. All right. KVRG Texas says healthy correction. I think that with the euphoria from the election, that I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to, because I talked about it in tonight's video. You got to watch tonight's video. All right. That if this is a market correction or market pullback. So I'm not going to get into it. All right, the cut will be data-driven. Remember, the cuts have always been data-driven, according to Powell, right? Just think about that. It has. It may be too much for this chat, says Melinda. What did Melinda say? What did you say, Melinda? I may be too much for this chat. No, not at all. I want everybody. I want everybody to chat in. What do you think about the rumor of Trump dismantling the Federal Reserve? I'm not getting into that. I don't know. I feel some kind of way about it. I do. It's going to be interesting to see what pieces of government may be dismantled, Carol. So it may not just be the Federal Reserve. I don't know. I feel some kind of way, but you want to know how I feel about it? How about this? See that 2025 2-day investment seminar? You want to know, and Marty will be there. Marty, I know will be there. You really want to know a lot of the different things that I feel that I don't talk about on this chat? Come see me in Tampa. Go to the live. Come see me in Tampa. All right? You want to know a lot of that stuff that I don't talk about here? Come see me in Tampa. Put a couple drinks in me. We'll talk about some stuff. All right? Yes, I know even there, I work for VectorVest, but I will talk about some things that I may not always talk about on the channel because we'll be on a one-on-one scenario. All right? And, yeah. So I'm inviting you for that. You want to come talk to me live? Go to the Tampa 2-day event. And many of you may not be able to go, so I go to the live. But you still won't have that one-on-one with me on the live. My husband said he will take me to see my money man in Tampa. I'm loving that. So Alfredo, listen, to anyone who I have not met, come up to me when you see me in Tampa and say, hey, I'm Alfredo. And I'll give you a hell of a big hug because I want to support all of VV Nation that supports us. All right? I want you to come to me and make sure you tell me who you are. And now, when I hug you, Alfredo, let your husband know I'm just hugging you. I'll let you go real quick. I don't want none of that. I don't want no. Listen, don't start none, won't be none. I ain't starting none. All right, I'm just letting you know that up front. Kurt Dallas. There you go, Kurt. All right. So I hope a lot of you have the opportunity to go to the live. Only teasing about the Palantir. Tabula, you know I respect everything you got to say, my friend. Can we take a group pick? Absolutely. Absolutely. Carol says, I've been thinking about that. Just don't blow the cigar smoke at me. Carol, I won't do that. That's going to be outside. That's going to be outside. All right. I know y'all didn't come to hear me just talk about stuff. All right. T. Lou, hold on. I'm going to give you an opportunity to look at stocks. But let's talk about what's going on and where your money should best be played. Now, tonight's video, the 6 p.m. video, I'm going to talk about 3 different ways to play the current market. Whether you're a longer-term person, whether you're, good looking for solid stocks, looking more speculative stocks. And then the third way, short-term. All right, short-term. Phyllis is going to Tampa. Way to go. I'm loving it. I want to know. If you want to, I want to know how many of you are planning to attend live in Tampa. All right, I want to just type a 1. How many of you intend to attend live in Tampa? All right, so with that being said, I still know for the longer-term investor, the confirmed call is still in play. The DEW is still in play. Tower's going to be there. Ripman's going to be there. Man, I'm going to love this. I was saying a pullback is a bad thing when it happens big time in one day. Well, do we call this big time? Do we call this big time? 0.7% down on the Dow. Wow. It's the NASDAQ that's getting its butt kicked. I got you, Ramore. Nancy says maybe. All right, Phil. All right, I'm just looking. The NASDAQ is getting its butt kicked, but NVIDIA is still in play. I think Ryan did a good job in the video that stated NVIDIA is pretty, that was the Thursday video, that NVIDIA is pretty much carrying the semis. All right, just think about that. I'm in my NVIDIA. It's down 7.5% as I look at the screen. It's a big move. That's a big move. But I'm very super optimistic, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, optimistic about NVIDIA going into earnings. And yes, I am still holding NVDL through earnings. Now, is that a bad thing? We'll find out come earnings. We'll find out. I'm taking that chance. I'm super bullish on NVIDIA. Why? Because it's the hottest stock on the frickin' planet. Excuse me. And no, I haven't been drinking. All right. So looking at what I see in the market, looking at the red creeping in, looking at the MTI and the buy-to-sell ratio, the buy-to-sell ratio, when it gets down to a level of 0.20, the market's starting to look for a bottom. When the MTI gets to a value of 0.60, the market's looking for a bottom. We're not there yet. So does the market still have some more pullback based on our indicators? Technically speaking, the market does have some more downside. I'm worried about NVIDIA hitting short on earnings. G-Money, we'll see. We'll see. And if that happens, I'm going to be in poopy land. All right? I think NVIDIA beats earnings. I think NVIDIA beats revenue. And I think they're going to have great forward guidance, especially when it comes down to the Blackwell GPUs. You saw that SoFi is going to be the first company that's going to actually pick up the Blackwell units. So there you go. You said the Blackwell chip may hurt. I don't know. It's the GPUs are a hot commodity right now. All right, the GPUs are a hot commodity right now. Bill says one day does not make a trend. And while I ain't looking at one day, let's go to a market timing graph. Let's go look at the VVC. All right, end of day, failed to load. Son of a gun. Cool, take me off screen. I got to log back into VectorVest. Cool, are you there? You can put me back on the screen. Now, let's go look at the VVC. All right. One day ain't a trend. That ain't one day. All right. That ain't one day. Now, what happened today, looking at, cool, pulled the plug. What's happened is, look at today's movement. The 3 has finally gone below the 8. We already got the primary wave down. The 3 has gone below the 8, still above the 20, but gone below the 8. And look at the MACD, it's falling. That ain't one day. All right, that is not one day. Michael says Blackwell is now in full production with orders that will take it well into 2025. And again, SoFi is already out there. That may need to look into that. I hear you, Melinda. I don't like to get political, all right? But I will look at the tariffs as a tool. This is my 2 cents, all right? My 2 cents. I think the tariffs will be used as a tool to bring manufacturing back to the United States. My personal opinion is I don't believe that there's going to be across-the-board tariffs. All right, that's my 2 cents, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I think that it's going to be used as a tool to bring manufacturing back to the United States. All right, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Bill says, Glenn, we've had several 3-4 day pullbacks this year, not worried. And again, watch tonight's video. Watch tonight's video in regards to, do I think that this is a correction or a pullback? China is opening a mega port today. A mega port. Why? What are they going to sell? And who are they going to sell it to? All right? Who are they going to sell it to? Listen, the debacle that went on with China in regards to divvying out their stimulus money was lackluster. All right, so what should we do with NVIDIA now and other tech stocks? So let's go look at NVIDIA. Let's go, what just happened? Oh, let's go look at NVDA. What would you do with NVIDIA right now? That's a 1-year graph. Looking at a 1-year graph, how many of you are concerned? Type in C for concern or NC for not concerned. All right? Oh, instead of the Panama Canal, they're going to move up. Now, is that a canal? Or you said mega port. All right, if you're looking at a 1-year graph, are you concerned or not concerned? All right, I see more non-concerns than concerns. Now, what's up, Kiwi? Meow. Look at the rising earnings, rising price, bottom left, top right. Let's look at a 3-month graph. I tap the graph, 3-month graph. All right, are you still concerned or not concerned? Now, I will look at the 3 and the 8. The 3 and the 8 today have crossed. And it went through a level of support right here. I got another level of support right here. I got another level of support. I got a lot more downside. Yes, it's down 3.68% today. Totally understand. The 3 and the 8 end of day have crossed today. So Amir's question is, what should you do with NVIDIA right now with the 3 and the 8 crossing on the mobile app? Would I take some off the table? Maybe, but if I'm not concerned about looking at the 1-year graph, how about if nothing, I sell a covered call or I buy a protective put? That way I still hold on to the stock, but I'm getting defensive on the play in case it does go down. Does that sound good or not good? Does that sound good or not good? Type it in the room. I am looking at, again, go back to this 1-year graph. I'm really not concerned. That's a major upward move. Again, the hottest stock on the planet. The hottest stock on the planet. I think it's good, if nothing else, if you're concerned, even if you're a little bit concerned, I would think about being defensive by either buying a protective put or selling a covered call. The upcoming year for NVIDIA and Blackwell will make almost $1 trillion in revenue next year. Blackwell is going to be huge for NVIDIA. All right, can I draw a trend line at the bottom? Not on the mobile. Not on the mobile. I don't have a lot of drawing capabilities on the mobile. Even here, I cannot. That's something we probably got to work on from that perspective. But the trend line would go from here to here to here to here. And it looks like if that was the case, if I could draw a trend line, we might have fallen below the trend line as if. I have my color trade for NVIDIA already. Collar trade for NVIDIA. NVIDIA declined 25% July to August 2024. Again, like I said, I still think that NVIDIA is a powerhouse stock. I would just get defensive on the play. All right. Watching ASML, I did a short on ASML. ASML. Let's go take a look at it. Whew. ASML is a tougher play. If I could draw a trend line, it would be going down from here to here to here, and it is in a downtrend. But MACD just started picking up. MACD just started picking up, but it is bouncing off a level of support right here. That level of support with the down day today, if it breaks below, ASML is going to have even more downside. Palantir is going up, Glenn. Let's go look at PLTR. PLTR still going up. Nice up day today. Look at the wick at the top. Look at the wick at the top. All right. And look at the wicks here, here, here. Those 3 days are showing me overall some selling pressure. I'm okay. 7% up today. I'm all right. So instead of getting out at 120% yesterday, I'd been up to 127% today. All right. I'm still okay with that. Bold statement. NVIDIA closes at 145. Let me give you a profit target on NVIDIA. Whew. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that until Tuesday. I'm not going to do that until Tuesday. Yeah, I can't do that until Tuesday. Tuesday's video, man, it's going to be some stuff. Uncle Glenn, gold, goodbye. Nope. Let's go look at GLD. Heck no. Why? Because the dollar's getting stronger. The dollar's getting stronger. Look at that. Yeah, I wouldn't touch gold right now. I would not touch gold right now. Lunar beat. Lunar. Lunar beat earnings. But look at the volatility behind the move. Look at the volatility behind the move. The 3, 8, and the 20 are all in good play. It's up 5.29% after being down a lot yesterday. Even the rebound today does not overcome the big loss yesterday. The 3 and the 8 are still in play. I love that. MACD still positive. I love that. But even today's move doesn't dig into the big loss yesterday. And Rocket Labs, RKLB. Let's take a look at it. Whoo! Be careful with Rocket Labs. Look at that shooting star right there. Follow through yesterday. Nice upward move today, but still you're overcoming some loss from yesterday. I love the move though. Look at the 3-month graph. Love it. I just be careful. And right now, I don't know what graph pattern that is. That's not even a one white soldier. That might be a one. No, it's not a one white soldier. It would have to be up above. But that's a nice rebound from yesterday. That's a rebound, nice rebound from yesterday. But you know what concerns me? I got to get over that high at 22.55. That was a big selling pressure candle that followed through the next day. With today trying to rebound, the rebound doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy yet. All right? Doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy yet. Palantir, when do I buy back in? Let's go take a look. 3-month graph. I definitely have to, you know something? Let's do this. For the mobile app, I'm going to set an alert. Create an alert. I'm going to tell you when I would think about buying into it. Stop moving. Stop moving. Stop. At about 64.28. I'm going to create that alert. 64.28. All right. Why am I saying that? Because that's looking at higher than today's high. Remember, I do have a wick on today's candle. Nice open candle. Nice open candle. But that's what I'm looking for. What would be your stop on Palantir, Phyllis? I would still, even when I got back in, I'm still looking at the 10% trail. I'm still looking at the 10% trail. All right, Lunar is a long-term hold. Let's go back to Lunar real quick. Lunar is a long-term hold. Is it worth it? LUNR. Let's use the VectorVest system. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Got to find out how much you got to twerk it. All right, if you know, type LOL. If you don't know, you don't know. All right, if you know, type LOL. If you don't know, you don't know. Lunar, Relative value, below 1. Relative safety, below 1. It is more of a speculative play, but it's got a VST about 1.24. Why? Because relative timing is at 1.82. Palantir already 3% down from 1130 peak. Right? I just told you when I would think about buying it. It is overvalued. I'm not feeling, Lunar I like. Lunar I like as a feel-good play for space. It's got a lot of volatility in it, though. Let me spread that out a little bit more. Let's put this on a 6-month graph. Channel right here. Come on, stop doing that. Channel right here. Channel here. Channel here. Broke out. It's moving up. That big red candle gives me pause. That big red candle gives me pause. Who are the SpaceX suppliers? Hey, Koo, put that question in our chat, me and you's chat, research idea, who are SpaceX suppliers? Do me a favor and put that into our chat. AMD and Micron have been painful. There was another stock I saw, Disney. Disney beat earnings. I mean, one thing I got to say about Disney, no matter how I feel about it, Iger was a good pullback. Who are space? Yes, put that into our chat, our team's chat, so that I can come back to it and see that question. All right, put that into our team's chat. Now, I think Iger was a smart move on Disney's part. Look at this low. Let's go back. Let's go look at this low. Put this on 6-month graph back here. And since that time, it's gone up through 1 level of resistance, 2 levels of resistance, 3 levels, and still moving higher. The 3D 8 to 20 all in play MACD is, I can't, if I'm going to look at getting into Disney though, I'm going to set another alert. If I'm looking to get into a Disney, let's go look at yesterday's high, 114.64. I'm going to create an alert. That's the beautiful things. One of the things that I love about the mobile app, is the ability to create alerts on the fly. All right. Lifestyle says, hey, Glenn, Meta was $500 when you recommended in June. It is up 15%. So is it time to take profits? Let's go look at Meta. I think Meta is still a good play. META, Meta. Ooh, it's curling over. It's in a channel. You said you got 15%. So you know something? I would, if it goes down against you, 7.5%, I'd pull the trigger. Who just said that? Dang it! I just saw it. Who just said that? Why am I missing? Anyway, that's what I'd be looking for in regards to Meta. All right. If it's moving down, big down day today. If it goes against you, if you've gone from 15% gain, when you get to 7.5%, I'd take it off the table. We should get a drink, Glenn. Psh, I'm telling you, if you're there, we gonna talk. Everybody, we will talk. We're gonna talk about. I'll answer some of your questions. Depends on how deep the questions are. All right. Especially how deep the questions are will determine whether or not. But I'm going to answer a lot of questions that I don't normally answer here. When you're looking at Palantir dropping, you're not an investor but a short-term trader getting worried to sell off. If you have an option expiring or short, Santalal, I'm still long-term on Palantir. I don't understand how everybody thinks that I'm short-term on it because I close it out. You do realize I took 120% gain on the trade, right, Santalal? Now, let me ask a question. If you're long-term on a stock, you've got over 100% gain on the stock, and the stock goes down, let's just say the stock goes down 50%. Are you still holding because you're long-term? Yes or no? I'm curious. Because that's probably going to answer the question that a lot of people are asking me about Palantir. Let's just say Palantir, all right, there you go, Tabula. What if you own a stock that you're up over 100% on, and it goes, and you're I love the stock long term, yeah, rocker. But if the stock goes down 50%, you holding it still? Guess what? And guess what, Amir? I hate to bring you into the conversation in this way, right? What that happened with Amir with SMCI. It's probably happened to a lot of you on a lot of stocks. I'm just bringing that to the forefront. Listen, I've said it, Jazz says I have stocks that are over 350% gain. All right. You know something? As long as it goes up and it keeps going up and it doesn't hit my 10% trail, I'm okay with that. But you know something? I'm of the mindset if I can make good money on the trade and still buy into the long term, go back and buy into it, I'm fine with that. Even on my retirement stuff, folks, my other portfolios that I'm long-term retirement, on a stock like Palantir, I may not have gotten out of it, but I would have put some kind of defensive play on it. I would have put in this portfolio that's more actively traded, I decided to close the position rather than going the options route. But guess what? I do have Palantir and a couple of other portfolios that I'm still holding. But I did put defensive measures on. Okay? So I'm putting that out there. I'm going to, oh my gosh, Tabula, stop. Because I'm not doing, that's not my thing, Tabula. I don't get down like that. Oh, Lord have mercy. Trying to get me fired. I don't get down like that. All right. This is why I love VV Nation. This is just why I love VV Nation. Bobby says some people are just too scared to sell in fear of missing out on another dollar. Then watch that. And Bobby, truer words have not been spoken. Let me see if I can get that to go up there. Truer words. Oops, sorry, Koo. Truer words. Go ahead, you got it. Truer words have not been spoken. And I can tell that this room has been through this process before of trying to ride a stock up. I did it with XROF. Do you know that at one point in time I was up 95% on XROF and gave it all back? All of it. So I just put you that. Jim says mobile app gives an error when trying to add a symbol to a portfolio from the hamburger icon. Adding a stock. Oh, we got an alert. Hold on. That's a different portfolio that I ain't talking about. All right. Let me mark that as red. I thought it was one of our new, whatchamacallits, market overview. Not much, ain't much going on. A lot of red popping up in the color guard, but we got all three colors. Market's having a hard time determining which direction it really wants to go. Tesla, I'm up 100%, not selling, doing covered calls and puts. There you go. And again, I'm with that. But again, I have a couple of other portfolios that still hold Palantir that I was defensive on because I still like the stock long term. I just didn't want to get rid of it. And the portfolio that I report to you on, I got rid of this. I got rid of it. My core holding in Tesla and Palantir and NVIDIA. I'm not against you on that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you can't handle the heat, then just stick to index mutual funds. But they're not going to do anywhere near. Index mutual funds are not going to do anywhere near what stocks do, Real Tech. They won't. That's why I take the opportunities on the stocks. Do you know, it was a couple of 2-3 years ago, I made 1,300% on MJNA, a marijuana stock. That was the biggest trade I ever made in my life. I took that profit and ran like a summer gun. Sure enough, took that money and ran. That's 1,300%. Now, that wasn't going to be a long-term play for me. It was spiked because of news, blah, blah, blah. There was no way I was holding that. Quick by Annie Duke was a game changer for me. No hesitation on selling. I hope that everybody understands why I got out of Palantir. Santalal says he's up 230% on Palantir. I got you. All right, I got you. All right. Somebody said, Melinda says, very good question. What was the question? I forget what the question is. What if the fundamentals are good and you don't need the money immediately? Well, then keep it in there. Ravi, leave it alone. Leave it alone. So, all right, let's start to concentrate on what's going on right now. What would I do right now? Biggest thing for me, let's go to stock pick ideas. I think for the most part that the pullback might be a little short term. So if that's the case, I am looking at contra ETFs. And if you can look, I can sort this list by percentage gain. SQQQ, the short side of the Qs, up 7% today. Microsectors, up 6.9% today. Qs again, up 4, almost 5%. SPXU on the S&P up 4.2. So, and someone said that one day doesn't make a trend. We're not in a 4-day move. Not in a 1-day move. We're in a 4-day move. The market's continuing to fall. Short term, I think that contra ETFs are a good way to go. What do I mean by short term? Short term, I mean until the market stops going down. Does that make sense to everybody? Because I'm always going to get asked that question. What do you mean by short term? When I go back to the market overview and I look at the VVC, what is short term? When the market stops going down. So when the market finds a level of support, and it starts to bounce off that level of support, I would get out of those contras just that quickly. Contras can, especially if they're leveraged, contras can make you a lot of money in a short amount of time. In the current market, short term right now, I would look at contra ETFs, all right? As you can see, they're going up nicely. One day doesn't make a trend on contras, but if I'm looking at over the last 4 days, I bet you contras are rocking and rolling. Okay, number one. Number two, would I still buy into new positions right now, new long positions? Again, not while the market's going up. But if this is a short-term pullback, not a correction, I'm going to keep my eyes on the market, but I need to have some stocks in my shopping list to take advantage of. First thing I'm going to look at, because of the way that the market was going up until right now, I'm going to go back to the stock pick ideas, and then I'm going to go back to high momentum stocks. Not until this market tells me. I got to let the market come to me. What do I mean? I got to let the market stop going down and start going up. And when that happens, this is a good place to try to find those momentum plays. I found a lot of momentum plays that I've put into my other portfolios. I found a lot of momentum plays that I put onto the channel for you as well. All right? But you're looking at even these momentum plays. Let's go see what's going up the most. Even on the momentum plays. Wow, CNVS is up 17%. INOQ, we talked about that yesterday in AMA. PSX is a stock that you'll find in one of my lists tonight in tonight's video. PSIX up 8.64%. Even on a down day. Rocket Lab, we talked about that. Up 8.39%. Palantir, now up 8%. Tesla, the bullish side of Tesla. Bullish, going up. GGRW, Gabelli Growth Innovators. I don't know if that's for weed or not, but it's up 5.57. So, I think that the market still is going to have some upside. This is a good place to get shopping lists ready for high momentum stocks. And then you want to find some good quality stocks that have done very well. Watch tonight's video. I go through 3 opportunities to take advantage of the current market's conditions. And then I give my insights on whether or not I think that this is a pullback in the market or is this a correction. Glenn, where are you drawing support and resistance in the VVC line? That was automatically in the software. So if I go to the VVC, those support and resistance lines are being drawn for me. Go down to the bottom of the graph where it says graph settings. I've got a couple of different settings set up. One, I am looking on the upper chart candlesticks. Number 2, rating bar, show to stop. Show the value. I don't usually show the value. Moving averages. I have 3 moving averages on the graph. Go click on that. My 3 moving averages are a 3, an 8, and a 20. My 3 and 8, as you can see, are exponential moving averages. My 20 is a simple moving average. And what else do I have on here is support and resistance. Click on it. I have it set up to look back 100 days. 2 lines are required to give a support or resistance line. The size of the reversals and the size of the zones are medium. Enable line highlighting, so when I click on it, you'll see it. I'm looking at broken and unbroken lines, and the number of lines to show are all. So all of the things that I have on the mobile app graph are designed by the graph settings on the bottom. All right, Marcus, does that answer your question? SPX, I moved my 8 and 10, and I find it helps me more. That's fine, Jazz. All right, that's fine. All right, SMCI facing hard deadline by Monday. I think a deadline for them to report earnings got moved to December 11th. December 11th. So what should we do now, Amir? I just answered that. Right now, based upon what I see in the market, my play would be contra ETFs, short term. What does that mean? That means until the market stops going down. All right, once the market bounces off a level of support, I keep my eyes on those contras and get ready to get out of them. All right? Does everybody understand that? Yes. Does everybody understand I'm giving you, and again, it's going to be reiterated in tonight's video, I'm giving 3 opportunities on how to play the current market right now based upon market timing. But playing the contras right now, does everybody understand? Does that make sense to everybody? And did I give you enough guidance on how to play them? Yes or no as well. All right, the guidance is the market's going down. It's 4 days. I'm looking at the end of day, or I'm looking at the market, the graph on the market, the 3 and the 8 cross. I've shown you, and Jazz is right. There's a lot for that to go down. There's a lot for that to go down. But if it goes down that far, it does. All right, but again, I won't give you my insights on whether I think this is a correction or a pullback until you watch tonight's video. All right, okay, thank you. Sometimes I can't choose 40 or 300 days. Marcus, the highest we go is 200 days. The highest we go is 200 days. All right, now with all of that being said, let's go and create a watch list for you guys to look at your stocks. Click the plus sign. All right, start putting your stocks in now. AX, I saw. All right, we'll put that in there. Axos. I'm only going to look at about 10 of your stocks. We only got 55 likes. It's fine. I give you 10 stocks anyway. AA, okay, LABD. That's a good play for the contra side as well. ELMD, FI, FI from Goldman Sachs, GS. Now, you guys, hold on. Stop typing so daggone fast. Dell, DELLL. Yeah. You guys are just typing way too fast. AA, I got that in there. LABD, Goldman Sachs now. Dell. I put Dell in there. IONQ. Glenn, you are doing a fantastic stop. Cancel. Glenn, you are doing a fantastic bringing us powerful trades. I really appreciate it, even for non-subscribers. Thank you, sir. Salute. There you go. I appreciate that. And ACGL. All right, let's create this watch list. I told you I was going to give you 10. 11. We'll go. Customer. No, I do the date first. 11, 15, 24. Customer picks. Click on OK. What did Bobby say? Bobby said something. I don't know what Bobby said. Bobby, what did you say? Because somebody said, oh, I hope you have a few buy and sell indicators. I use the 3 and the 8 plus MAD. What the heck is MAD? Oh, moving average diversion. Is that MAD? And others, but remember, not all stocks behave the same. It's true. All right. Let's go look at these stocks. First off, let's do some rank analysis. By VST, the best stock in the list is ELMD. The worst stock in the list is LABD. Notice that all of the stocks have VSTs above 1. Let's go see which ones are moving up the fastest. We'll sort by RT. How am I changing that? I go in the box that says rank by. Then I can look at any of these indicators. All right, so let's sort by RT. Which ones are the fastest? INOQ, ELMD came up on both sorts. Interesting. AA, LABD, again, a contra. This is why I say keep your eyes on. But look at that. RT, it's got an RT of 1.5. Goldman Sachs, Axos, and at the bottom of the list is Arch Capital with an RT below 1, telling me that it's in a downtrend. Let's go look at stocks that have the best upside. ACGL with a relative value of 1.59. Best upside. Relative value looks at a stock's ability to outperform a AAA corporate bond over the next 1 to 3 years. Goldman Sachs is up there. Fiserv is up there. Even though it's down, it's got good upside. Axos has got good upside. Dell. ELMD moved down the list, though, when it comes to RV. All right. ServiceNow, it's got an RV above 1. LABD is going to be at 1. INOQ. Woo-wee! That's more of a trade. All right, that's more of a trade. Just sold my Doge nearing support. I own Doge. I own like 335 shares. You talk about Dogecoin? I own about 335 shares. But I also have Shiba Inu, and I own like 1 trillion shares. Really? Not really. It's not a trillion, but I own a lot. All right. So I do, even though I think it's crap though, I still own some of it. And which stocks go up more than they go down? Let's go look at Comfort Index. Goldman Sachs, ELMD. So when I can go through the rank analysis based on the VectorVest indicators, and when I see a stock come up towards the top of the list time and time again, I pay attention to that. ELMD is a stock that I would have on my radar. Let's go take a look at these graphs, though. Goldman, 1 year graph, bottom left, top right. Look at the earnings per share. Undervalued. It's hard to find some undervalued stocks right now. ELMD, I like the play. Look at that. It is overvalued, but fundamentally sound. Look at the relative value, relative safety. I like the move. Fiserv, wow. Look at these graphs that you sent me. All of these stocks, look at the graphs that you sent me. Now, what's interesting is I look at Fiserv. If you've got money in it, I wouldn't, look at this. I want to show you something. Candlestick formation right there. A little bit of a bearish harami with follow through and more follow through. Watch the 3 and the 8. If you own Fiserv, now I like the stock long term. Don't get me wrong. I like the stock long term. I would be defensive on Fiserv right now. MACD just went negative today. I would be just defensive on it. Axios, a little bit more volatile of a stock as you can see. And look at it falling. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. Again, you guys know your own tolerance for pain. Only you guys know your own tolerance for pain, so just keep that in mind. If rumor with Gary Gensler is true, XRP will take off. I'm not in a whole bunch of crypto stuff, but XRP also at resistance. Jazz and Walter going back and forth on it. All right. Let's go to the next one. Dell, same thing, rolling over. Look at MACD, just went negative. 3 and the 8 just crossed. I wouldn't be afraid to take some off the table. Put this on a 1 year graph though. I'm not sure I like it really long term. Coming off of this low and rolling over. I've got a couple of levels of support. I'm not sure how I feel about that. ServiceNow, I know that's a Amir pick. Amir's been looking at that. Put it on a 3-month graph. Little shooting star right there, follow through, and a gap down. I wouldn't be afraid to take some profits off that. 3 and the 8 haven't crossed yet. 3 and the 8 haven't crossed yet, but I wouldn't be afraid to take some. Now, put this on a 1-year graph. Do I like it? Long term, it may not be a bad play. It is going bottom left, top right. But right now, I'd start to get defensive on it. Alcoa. More volatility in this play as well. Bouncing off support right here. Man, 1, 2, 3. I haven't seen a stock that's got six touches. Well, that's both on resistance and support. Nice bounce up, broke through this level of resistance. I'd like to see it get back above that level. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not, it's 8.37%. If you're not, I'd really wait to see it take out that high. ACGL in a channel, straight up in a channel. Put this on a 3-month graph. Yeah, that's in a channel. It needs to break above that level of resistance. The 3 and the 8 just crossed, but I need to get above that level of resistance. I like that MACD just went positive, but I'd wait to see if I can get above that level of resistance. INOQ, I like. Kind of parabolic in the move, though. Be careful. Kind of parabolic in the move, but it is definitely on the rise. Today, it looks like it did hit, by way of the high, looked like it did hit a new 3-month high. I like the play. MACD is strong. All right, MACD is strong. LABD, Contra ETF, this is probably one that's big on my list. It's moving. Look at that, just broke through 2 levels of resistance. Open candle, very little wick at the top. Ooh-wee. I like LABD. Remember, short term, I like Contras. Short term, I like Contras. Now, this is 3-time leverage. On a good down day, on a good up day, this is going to lose a lot of money. Just keep that in mind. All right, that's the last stock. How much time we got? 4 minutes. Tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to only look at a couple of more of your stocks. I can do that. IESC. All right, IESC. Woo, same thing. You know, the 3 and the 8 is crossing to the downside today. 3 and 8 is crossing to the downside today. I'd be careful. Again, I'm not sure why any of you may be not catching the idea. It's okay to take some of this off the top. ATOM, put this on a 3-month graph. Wow. How about that? This is a bearish engulfing right here. Not real follow through, but it is lower than yesterday's open. A lot of buying pressure on the bottom of it. If you're in it, leave it alone. The 3 and the 8 are solid. 3 and the 8 are solid. If I'm not in it, though, I'm looking to get in at the high. All right, next one, AMAT, Applied Material, AMAT. If I could draw a trend line, you can see the trend line is definitely going down. I'm not feeling it right now. Put this on a 3-month graph. Ooh, no, baby, no. And looking at today's candle, a lot of wick at the top. I am. When you say I'm not showing my full screen, I'm showing the full. What am I missing? I'm showing all this graph. You see, I'm showing all. Oh, you can't see. Can they see this? They can't see this. They can't see this. I'm showing all the graph. I don't know what Baba missed on earnings. I was full of vim and vigor when it came down to Chinese stocks, and damn, I lost all of that. AMAT had excellent earnings but soft guidance. Well, earnings and inflation. Earnings and revenue is a good thing, but it all depends on what happens with forward guidance. Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce, there we go. I like the space still, but man, again, a lot of the stocks that have continuously made money are all showing the same scenarios, folks. All right. So my only guidance is if the market is falling, I'm looking at you being more in contra ETFs right now. But a lot of stocks that are showing the same thing that you're looking at on all of these stocks, I wouldn't be afraid to take profits on them. But if you like the stock long term, like Rolls-Royce, I do like long term, I would be defensive with the stock. VectorVest says don't buy a falling market, which makes sense. I agree with VectorVest. Okay. All right, so I looked at a little bit more of your stocks today. All right. I've given some guidance. What you do with it, you do with it. All right. I will look at real quick. IWM. Let's go look at the Russell. It's probably getting beat up. It is. Same scenario, last 4 days. What was the other one you said? IWM, XBI. What is that? Biotech? Man. Folks, it ain't even me telling you not to buy them. It's the graphs. The graphs are telling you. It's not even me. It's not even me. All I'm doing is giving you the guidance. That's all I got to say. All right, now I got to go. By the way, next weekend I got to get new glasses, man. I can't see out of my glasses. That's bad. But that means there's probably the diabetes getting all jacked up. So my eyesight might be all jacked up too. All right. Tom Lee says that next year will be all about small stocks. Well, if the market takes off in anticipation of what the next upcoming administration is going to bring in, growth stocks are going to be huge. Growth stocks are going to be huge next year. All right, so we'll see. That Tom Lee's face is everywhere on CNBC. They need to bring me on CNBC. Let me talk a little bit. The Tyson fight tonight, I'm Team Tyson. All right, I'm Team Tyson. Type in, as we get ready to leave, put who you pulling for tonight's fight. They made it so it's like at 11 o'clock. Man, you know how old I am? I got a wedding to do tomorrow, too. Man, I got to do a wedding tomorrow. All right? So I want somebody to have CNBC talk to our people over here to get me on CNBC. Let me talk about it. All right. Have a great weekend. Hey, you guys have a great weekend. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Praying for people all over the world. Remember, always help out and look out for your neighbor. Make sure you do that, because if we do enough of that, we'll become a better society. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks. See ya.